What's up? It's me back again, Analog Attack. How you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Today, Tony's back. How you doing, Tony?
Doing good. Good to talk to you again, Mike. Thanks for having me
Very
back.
happy to see you. You looking well?
I'm doing my best. I
Good, good.
sit around and watch. I ride on an exercise bike and watch your other videos.
Oh, what great imagery that
That's what I do.
is.
Yeah. I sit here and pedal away and learn about
Learn about
mid-period Black Sabbath.
excellent, excellent. So today, 10 inches, a 10-inch record.
10-inch records.
Yay or nay?
The easy thing is like, yeah, nay.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of the format.
Right.
I always feel like they cost the same amount to
Yeah.
make, and they sell them at basically the same amount as LPs,
Right.
but you get less music. And for record collectors, it's the most like annoying part is where do you file them? You know what I mean? Like there's like this separate section that you don't go to,
Yeah.
that I don't go to often.
Uh,
And so this video gave me an opportunity to blow the dust
yeah.
and listen to a bunch of stuff and pull them out where kind of they had been like relegated to this like
Yeah.
hiding place.
Yeah, so I was like fishing around like on the internet getting people's like opinions this week, and that was the main gripe was like, where do I store them? And I was just like, why don't you just put them on the shelf like you do the other like the LPs, and they just have a little
Mhm.
more breathing space, they're more comfortable. It's like
Yeah.
they're relaxed, they've got like some headroom. It's like don't worry too much. It's like I keep them separately just at the end of a row of LPs, it's like
Mhm.
mm,
Yep. I
yeah.
had this weird visual thing where I needed all to be LPs, and so
Yeah.
the 10 inches they have to live somewhere, and there's a space between my speaker
Yeah.
and and they're up
Yeah.
there, but there's just too many that it's too tight, but not enough that it can go further. And
Sound
so
on the speaker.
you just get so irritated by them.
But like,
Uh,
I had all these records out like all week, just like sat in my room, and I'd get home and they'd be there, and I couldn't like be like, oh, I hate you, like get
right.
out of my house, I've had enough of you, it's like, I couldn't muster up any like hatred, but I don't love them, but I don't really particularly hate them either.
Over,
So it's like,
over the years, I've
mm,
cut mine down
right,
to only ones that I really, really like. So, with records, I'm like, maybe I'll play this record one day, maybe I won't.
right,
Maybe I'll sell it, maybe I'll keep it. We'll let it sit for a while. With 10 inches, I was just like, man, it's just like either I want to hear the music on this 10 inch and like keep it,
yeah,
or I absolutely do not. So it's a
yeah,
little bit more like stringent
right,
about the 10
yeah,
inches than the LPs for some reason. But
okay,
as I blew them off though, as I was like, they're kind of scattered all around here. I'm kind of having a little reassessment though. There's like
oh, yeah,
some, I'm kind of feeling I've, put a bunch on recently, in preparation for this. And I
yeah.
was like, these have their charms. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
they have
yeah,
their,
like if you go in with the perspective that like records should be like fun, you know, it's a fun format, like
which is actually how I look at it. And I was
mm,
thinking to myself, I was like, well, other bizarre, formats for records, of course, like Drop Dead famously, where they have
5 inch,
like an 11
11 inch,
inch,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah,
I want to say that somebody has a 13 inch. I think there's like
there is,
like
yeah,
a oversized,
right.
I can't remember who. It could be Drop Dead again, because they have
They
that
have a
box.
5 inch.
Drop Dead has that box set that's like all the various sizes or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, they
I
have the
think that,
record that plays from the inside too. That's like
yeah.
kind of a noise scene thing. Ben was
Yep.
saying that that's like a real like noise scene.
So I was kind of just like, why am I getting so perturbed by,
Right, exactly.
10 inches when it's like, well, I have a 1 inch, I have a
Oh, the slight
slight
slappers.
slappers,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
there's a little glare, right?
That's
That's
like
kind of fun.
that's so slap a ham.
It's the most slap a ham. I love slap a ham so much. And then I have, there's like an 8 inch, right?
Yeah,
Like, is
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
The 8 inch was kind of
somewhat of
popular in
a
Japan. Yeah,
very popular Japanese format, but
yeah.
even 8 inch
Eight,
flexies, right?
8 inch flexis. Yeah. Oh yeah,
So I have these things. So why should I be
exactly.
so, why should my ire,
All right.
towards these
So
10 inches?
let's have some fun looking through our like 10 inches. You've got 10. I've got 10. What you got?
All right. First off, I started
Right.
off a little strange.
Oh,
This is
quite strange.
this is literally Anton LaVey.
Oh,
It's called Strange Music,
mm,
and it's Anton LaVey was the head and founder of the Church of Satan. And this is him doing like old-timey kind of organ music. He plays on synthesizers on this. It's mostly instrumental, but his partner sings on 2 of the songs. And yeah, just like kind of classic, like old kind of music. He plays on synthesizers, but it's kind of meant to sound not electronic-y, like so much or whatever. And yeah, I think this is a really fun one.
Yeah.
One of my reasons also for liking it is that the record label to put it out, and the guy that produced it is Greg Turkington, who is his alter ego is Neil Hamburger, the kind of he's like comedian, like guy that tells pretty bad jokes and has the home over and stuff. So, but I thought it was really interesting that Neil Hamburger's alter ego put out this record for Anton LaVey. I just thought that was kind of cool. So it's a fun one, and it's got a pretty imposing cover.
Yeah, he's scaring me a little bit.
Oh yeah. So, anyway, that's my first one. What do you got?
Nice. That's a great choice. So going with the thing I was saying about records being like fun, I'm going to pull out all the stops of my first choice.
Got it.
Party Thrash, 10-inch, split 10-inch.
Oh,
split 10-inch, Spring Break, ! And cross-examination.
Yeah. I don't know Spring Break, but cross-examination, right? They're kind of
Deep
like
Six, which is a very well-regarded label, Infest.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, look at that. How much more fun can you get than that? Like, it's like
yeah, I think I'm familiar with cross-examination, right? Kind of like Municipal Waste style thrash.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. With a bit of Ghoul maybe in there too. Like
okay.
The Super Party Brothers is the name of the record. You've got songs like the Bluntacolypse, Keg Wreckers, Kidnapped and Forced to Listen to Metal. Great stuff. Okay, I've got a little competition as well. So this is on coloured vinyl. And it can't be just like, we can't just call this, it's actually green. It might look a little bit different, but I feel like they should have some like wacky name for this colour. So if you've got any good ideas, put them in the comments.
You're asking the straight edge kid, but it's got to be weed related, right?
Something like that. Yeah, there's got to be some really like amusing name for this color. Fine.
Yeah.
Party. There you go.
All right, that's nice.
That's quite opposite to your first choice.
Yeah. But that's the fun. That's like we're not even picking. It's not even necessarily a style of music. It's just a format.
Just a format. Yeah.
Anything could be going here. I
guess. I like the split 10-inch.
Split 10 inches. That's a.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, you know what? Maybe I'll with my next choice. Maybe I'll try to top the split 10-inch a little bit. We'll see.
Compilation? Oh, let's wait.
Oh, I know. we got his 10-inch picture disc.
Oh, yeah.
So, see if we can glare off of it. So yeah, Dinosaur Jr. Start Chopping. I mean, this is just like, I love Dinosaur Jr. I love them so much. This era is like a favorite era of mine. Like this kind of like kind of major label era for them. I think it's maybe this is Where You Been is I think the album that's off of, which is also one of my favorites. And 10-inch and then picture disc, and it just works with the.
I was gonna say, it fits right in.
It just fits in there, and I love. The artwork itself is like outrageous. Like if you're gonna do a picture disc 10-inch, like it might as well look like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel. So and even the back cover is the back.
It's actually pretty cool. That's not really, they kind of use the space well, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So and I do love how the how it just fits in with the artwork, on the cover or whatever. So
we're gonna get like double hatred for that. It's the 10-inch and the picture disc in
10-inch picture disc. Yeah. I don't know if you did. I didn't pull out a double 10-inch, which is just
I didn't, only because I've shown them in the gatefold sleeve episode I did.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and I had some like gatefold, so I'm not going to show those today. So yeah. All right, American Hardcore, 1985, 1986. I love this band, and they didn't put many records out, but this is one of them. Stark Raving Mad.
Oh, Stark Raving Mad. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I know the band, but I don't think I've ever seen that 10-inch
from New York. Really super fast, like DRI style, right? Political lyrics. This came out on Nuclear Blast Records back when they were kind of putting out a lot of hardcore punk, but it's weird. It's got like a session from their America LP, which like wasn't on the LP, and it's got like a live set from CBGB's on the B side.
Nice.
Just super fast, like no frills, mid-80s hardcore.
I mean, that's like up my alley, so for sure.
I mean,
it's weird. I've never had that one. Nobody's ever brought that one through the store or something.
Well,
so
I mean, it's German. I don't know. Like that's the reason. Like Nuclear Blast Records. Also, I think here we go. Name this color. There you go. This is actually, to me, it's really like fluorescent yellow, actually, but
yeah,
it looks a bit different.
Bit of a urine colored.
yeah, it's under the light, but this is a great record, and I think it fits like the format perfectly. It's like
yeah, that's cool.
Fun record.
If they're gonna make it a 10-inch, give us something extra. Make it on some nice colored vinyl or
there you go,
something like that. So
great band. I urge anyone to check out Start Raging Man if you like early 80s, no frills, hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of weird because it didn't come out originally as a 10-inch, but I bought it first as a 10-inch. It was a 12-inch, I guess, like single sort of, but I first got it as a 10-inch, and this can get us into like Metal Circus.
Oh, okay.
SST went through a phase slightly later, maybe like late 80s, like 90s, where they started repressing lots of stuff as 10 inches.
Yeah, I've got a Black Flag one, I think, and a Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah,
one.
so when I was going through these, I was just reminding myself that I had, like, all of these, like Nervous Breakdown, Six Pack, Jealous Again. They did them all as 10 inches, some of which are on colored vinyl. This Metal Circus is not. But, this was just, for whatever reason, like, right when I was buying records, this is, like, right when SST was really starting to do lots of 10 inches.
Right.
They were also doing 3-inch CDs at the same time, too, which is really weird. I thought that was
a Japanese-only thing. Wow.
Yeah, there's like a whole run of SST 3-inch CDs that are in like tiny little plastic cases. I don't have any, or I would show, but yeah, the 10 inches and the 3-inch CDs seem like they happened around the same time.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, of course, like I love the record, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, I think originally a 12-inch, and then they did a couple of pressings like this around the time that they were doing all that other stuff. So.
Nice.
Metal Circus.
Great record. All right. This is cool. I'm enjoying this. Okay, this is a record that I want to talk about the artwork a little bit. So, one of my favorite mid-80s hardcore bands, Broken Bones.
Yeah.
This is the back sleeve. It's like classic, it's got the typewriter font, classic photos. And then the record, of course, it's a 10-inch. It's on Fallout Records. Really cool.
Fallout.
The classic Broken.
I mean, that label. What else are you going to put as the label?
Well, I'll get to that. So you've got the classic photos on the back and the layout, the classic logo on the inner center label, and then this is what you get on the cover. They have the best like logo ever, but they put that on there.
Oh, that's
really like mid-80s, like new. I don't even know what it is. It's like. Seeing through but this is my favorite era of like Broken Bones, but it's like they already have a vocalist on this, so Oddie, the bass player, sings on it, and it's got like a re-recorded version of Habitated, but cool record. That what were they thinking?
That artwork it's making me think right now. It's reminding me of another record, and it's making me think that perhaps in the future we should do absolute worst punk cover artwork episode.
I don't know what it looks like. It reminds me of various things, but I don't know. Like, just they've got the best logo ever, and they put this on the front. So I mean, God, here we go, telling people what to do. But I would have like put this on the front, and then had the eyes like red, just because seeing through my eyes, something like that.
Anything other than what they did.
Anything other than that, but
than what they did. Yeah.
This is a great record, though. I mean, it's fantastic.
Quick detour. But the absolute, I don't want to even really, because we should probably do a really worst cover. Concrete Socks, who I really love.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that kind of what is it? That one. Who killed Kenny?
It's
Yeah.
like a South Park.
That's
It's
South
like
Park. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
that's the band members as South Park characters, and it's like the worst. It's not just that that's such a poor choice, and that the artwork is so bad,
Yeah.
but the entire layout is like this really, really rudimentary Photoshop
Yeah.
job. And I worked at a record store when that came out, and I remember when it came in, I was like, "Oh, a new Concrete Socks record, sure." Like I'll order that for the store, and then it comes in, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I'll take it to the grave. Like that's like never, ever, ever selling ever.
That's a rough one. Yeah.
So so very bad. Even today.
Imagine if it was on a 10-inch, it would be even more pixelated if they put that on.
So bad, so bad. Absolute worst.
All right. Okay, Tony, what you got next, mate?
It's my turn.
Number 4?
Yeah, 3 maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used some of this. There's a couple of bands in here that I just used as a chance. They're records that I really like, but bands that never get talked about, or at least not punks. And so this one, I don't know if you could. Yeah, Michelle Gun Elephant.
I know you're a big fan. Japanese band.
Plasma Dive. Yeah. I always really loved them. My boss at the old record store was really, really into them. And all the records would come through. We would get them, and but it was weird. These were coming into the store at a time when America was having like kind of that garage rock revival with stuff like the Hives, or like, but even like I don't know, just like New Bomb Turks, like just kind of like garage rock or whatever. And I think that we thought incorrectly that Michelle Gun Elephant was more of like a punk garage band, and I think we were set straight that like basically they were like monstrously huge in Japan. They were basically the equivalent of like a major label.
Yeah.
They were on a major label. They were on Universal later.
Yeah.
And they were playing. I mean, I've seen now you can look at it on YouTube, but they're playing, when they were active at the end, playing like a festival in front of like what looks like 100,000. I mean, it's like outrageous.
I saw them once in Osaka, like 15, 16, 17 years ago. It was big, like 5,000 kind of capacity hall, but with Rise from the Dead supporting.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to see the singer. He does that band, The Birthday.
Yes.
It's like the singer and the drummer. And so I did go see them, but even that show was sold out. And this was only like 6 years ago or something. And it was like completely sold out. I had to buy tickets on like the aftermarket, and it was like packed wall to wall. There was like, still like 1,000 people at that show or something. So
quite incredible, because they are a very kind of quite hard hitting, aggressive, loud band.
They have very good fashion sense. Like every music video looks cool. When people ask me to describe them, I'm like, well, it kind of sounds like one part Japanese punk and one part like the best era of the Rolling Stones. Maybe they like, it's just like very cool rock and roll, but like very, very raw at the same time.
Very energetic. Yeah. My favorite is
Crazy Voice.
Gear Blues. That's my favorite.
Gear
LP,
Blues. Yeah.
Which Munster from Spain released on a double 10-inch.
That era when they were not yet signed to a major label, we would be able to get those things in, I think Get Back maybe put out some stuff, and Munster.
Yeah.
But once they signed to Universal Japan, I think the record is like, I can't remember the name, but anyway, that record and all those 12-inch singles, there was no export for any of that stuff. And it took me, I can't even tell you how many trips to Japan it took me to get those records.
I know you're a big fan. I'd like them too, but
but it's a cool. They did several 10 inches, but that one, Plasma Dive, is my favorite of the
cool artwork on that one too. That's a real punk rock looking record.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So
talking of punk rock and hardcore and like Massachusetts, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Picture this. Psycho. I've been getting I used to sort of be a bit ambivalent about this band back in the day. I used to trade records with Charlie Infection. He did like the Action mail order, unbelievable catalog of underground records back in the day. But like this band, I mean, I've really been listening to this one like a whole ton like this past week. It's just really bare bones, like basic American hardcore, kind of like a precursor to like bands like Out Cold, I would say.
right?
In fact, I think they actually put out
Same,
an Out Cold record or did a
it's like
split.
same part of the. It's like Boston, right?
Yeah. So I want to say that maybe Out Cold were kind of influenced by Psycho
Yeah.
a little bit, but
I'll say this about Psycho.
Mm.
I mean, that is like a top 10 logo. Like that
Yeah.
logo.
And they
is
used it nicely. They didn't.
color scheme, and that logo is like amazing.
And then you've got the lads on the back. Johnny X, this character in his Ramones t-shirt. Like,
nice.
Yeah. Just
oh
amazing.
man, that's amazing.
But they
I have one of my I collect old flyers, and many of them from shows I never got to go to, even though I'm 48, but like I still missed tons and tons of stuff. And I have a flyer that's Slapshot, Psycho, and the Descendants on one show in Boston, and I'm like, Slapshot and the Descendants, huh? Gonna throw in Psycho just for like,
yeah.
amazing.
I know, actually, because of this episode, I was like I've been playing that record to death. It's so good.
Yeah.
Really bare bones, back to basics, hardcore, catchy.
Yeah.
And punk.
I've had
punk. Hardcore punk.
Yeah. I've had the LP come through the store, but I don't own a copy of it. But that first LP, it looks like a similar color scheme to that.
Back from Hell, I think it's called.
Yeah, and it's like a photo of them on the front, but the same logo. And all
their records look kind of similar, but great label, great record, great logo.
Yeah, great name and logo, just like unbelievable. So yeah, that's awesome.
All right, what you got next?
Well, we did talk about these guys before, but I couldn't help break it out or not. I love the artwork on it. So it's a Mega City 4.
Yeah, there you go.
10-inch. And even though two B-sides on this one, but the artwork, amazing. And of course, I went on about Mega City 4 and the other one that we did on UK Melodic Hardcore or punk, but all-time favorite. And for me to keep a 10-inch in my collection, it's got to be like this kind of quality. And this one also has, I kind of see if I can do it. Yeah, it actually folds out. You can see the tape here because it was on my wall for a while. But there's like a cool.
Oh, nice.
Cover just folds out into a poster for them. It's kind of hard to. There we go. So
nice.
So I love that one because of the poster, and of course the songs are great. So
cool.
Yeah.
Great.
There you go.
Okay. D-Beat, Sweden, 90s. So there's 3 ways to get this. Like,
I recognize this. It's a great one.
like 3 ways of so you can get the original CD, which is on Lost and Found. We don't want to do that. You can get the reissue, which was like from 4 years ago on La Familia and Havoc, respectable. But the one that you really need is the 10-inch. Sphere, Brutal Sight of War, Feral Ward Records. If you're going to make an argument for the 10-inch, I would say, if it's good enough for Yannick of Tragedy, it's good enough for you. He decided to put this out.
Ever put out. I feel like I don't think that Yannick really has put out anything even questionable, much less bad.
He made an executive decision to put this out in this format. He must have had his reasons. I don't know what they are. But I think this is the best format for this record.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the artwork.
It's just perfect. One of the best D-Beat records of this era, I would argue. This Sphere, classic.
Absolutely incredible band. So
absolutely, Stadium D-Beat, Arena D-Beat.
so many ridiculous names. Yeah,
I just made
Stadium Crust. Yeah. Bro Crust.
I call it like Southern Lord D-Beat.
Yeah. Well, there was, in the same time frame that I was talking about the garage rock stuff happening. Like a little bit after that at the record store, it was like Dysphere record, From Ashes Rise, Nightmares, which is also kind of that, I guess what people would refer to as Stadium kind of cross, not their earlier ones, but that one for sure.
Yeah.
And Genocide Superstars also, which might even.
Yeah.
Those records they all came out. I feel like they all came out like kind of around the same time. That kind of just exploded, and people
Driller Killer a little bit in that Ballpark.
Oh, Driller Killer. Yeah, for sure. I feel like people thumb their nose a little bit
like
at
Rock
the
and Roll DB.
Yeah, but you know, if you want to mix Motorhead and Discharge and like record it at a really expensive studio, which is basically what it sounds like.
You know, take my money, sign me up.
Not for it. So.
All right, Tony, what you got next?
Well, speaking of people thumbing their nose, and the exact opposite of what we were just talking about.
Okay.
Like, you know, my interest in like Japanese punk. I mean, obviously, right? Like Michelle Gun Elephant were a huge band. And, you know, people liked them in Japan, but like, you know, not really punks.
Yeah.
And so this is the opposite end of the spectrum, but also not really cared for, it would seem, by too many people. But I love this record. This is like a very me style of record. With barbecue chickens.
Indie rock. Something that kind of ties in a little bit with that later. But
okay, that's awesome. Yep. So
a little bit.
Yeah, I think that in America, Max, 625, he did a version. There's a 12-inch, and it has Razor's Edge, who I also love dearly, and also it's like nobody cares about.
But
it's like Razor's Edge. Yeah, Barbecue Chickens and Idle Punch. One more band I think is on that comp. But other than that, none of these records ever seem like they got a U.S. No press, no distribution. Right. No one ever seemed to like really notice or care. Same with Razor's Edge. You know, Razor's Edge, they have that 1 7-inch that Busted Heads put out.
Okay.
Which I think the dude from DS13.
Swedish label, yeah.
He put out a Razor's Edge 7-inch.
Right.
But like in Japan, it seems like them and Barbecue Chickens, it's like they changed their sound to be like still very fast, but like pop punk fast.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about this record, it sounds like a cross between like Adrenaline OD and the Stupids and Sticky. Like it's like clearly very silly. I mean, all these songs like 37 seconds, 55 seconds, 56 seconds. You know, it's just like basically fastcore, you know, but like maybe a little AOD.
But it's members of High Standard, right?
Yeah, it's is it Ken
High Standard, right?
Yokoyama?
Like that band is like the biggest like punk band in Japan, like huge.
Yeah, he's using High Standard, you know, and High Standard, and this is like I think this is just like his side. I think that's Ken, right? I think with the Circle Jerks shirt.
And I forget who else is in the band, but
yeah, I think this is just like his side fun thing, and I think this is also the only vinyl because they have a bunch of albums, but I've never seen any of them on vinyl except for this 10-inch. But it's my favorite out of all the stuff that they did.
Cool.
And just totally ridiculous. But whatever scene you know these guys exist in, and Razor's Edge also. I'll just a quick aside. One of the very first times I went over to Japan, I was like, I had the Razor's Edge 7-inch, and it was on Busted Heads, and they're kind of associated with 625, with that compilation that came out. And I'm like, I'm going to go see Razor's Edge. I want to see him. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be like punk show, a small punk show. And I get there, and it's like an ocean of like 15-year-old like kids
with towels around their necks.
Towels around the necks.
I call that towel core. That's my name for that genre. Towel core.
Razor's Edge towels, which I bought and have in my closet right over there. I should have thought ahead. I would have pulled one out for you. But every kid with the Razor's Edge towel around there. And I'm just like, I could not have been more wrong about where I thought this band's place was in like...
They got kind of big after they got signed to Pizza of Death. Yeah,
which is just Ken's label. I guess that's Ken.
But it's big. It's like the kind of Fat Records of Japan. Not that quite big, but
yeah. And I just did not think of it like that. So basically, punks. You know, they think of it just the way that like somebody over here might think of NoFX. But I'm like, man, if only NoFX actually sounded like Razor's Edge or Barbecue Chickens.
I would be a fan. Like when I first moved to Japan, I was out drinking after show, and it was Corrupted, and I just saw the name Razor's Edge on a flyer, and it's a good name, like AC/DC, you know. I was like, Chew, drummer of Corrupted, what about that band? He just looked at me, he goes, party punk, and then turns away.
Yeah.
So
So the real true punks do not care, but I gotta say I don't care at all. I have Razor's Edge poster. I saw them
I know
many
you're a big fan.
I would go there. Barbecue Chicken seems like they never play ever, but I've never been there when they've played, but yeah, I think they're just like a fun band, like a fun high energy band, and you know, and as addition to that Barbecue Chicken's record. So
okay,
I love them, and
all right, going from like fun and high energy, let's go to like kind of a bit dark and gloomy. Sweden, mid to late 80s, kind of dark, mid-paced, gloomy punk. Charter 77.
I don't know anything about that.
I think you would like this record. Now, it's from like 1988, I think, and it's all their own songs. But the opening song is a song called "I Am an Astronaut," and it sounds a little different to the other songs on the record. So I don't usually do this, but I did a little bit of research. Turns out, "I Am an Astronaut" was a Ricky Wilde song. Older brother of Kim Wilde.
Oh shit!
That's him on the cover there. He had a hit with that song like in 1972, and everyone, you've got to check this out. Look on YouTube. Ricky Wilde, "I Am an Astronaut." It's like this haunting, like psychedelic pop with this kid singing, but it was a huge hit in Sweden. So that explains why Charter 77 like.
And his brother played in Kim Wilde's band.
Yeah, Ricky Wilde, I think, wrote all the Kim Wilde.
Oh, wrote all. Okay. I didn't. Okay,
yeah,
wow.
But he was a big teen star in Sweden when he was a kid, which I didn't know. And her dad was kind of like her manager and stuff. But anyway, this is the main point.
Is that Kids in America? Is that like the?
It's just the first LP. Yeah, it's got Kids in America on it.
Yeah. Covered by what? Lawnmower Death. I'm sure you're.
Nice. That's a good aside. Yeah, but I just thought that was really cool that like. You know, Kim Wilde's older brother had a huge hit in Sweden in like 1972 when he was a kid. You've got to check that song out. It's like very haunting, like psychedelic.
The artwork on that is amazing. Like that's
great.
That's
there you go. It's a great record. It's like that mid-paced, dark, gloomy, like Swedish punk from the 80s.
Yeah.
Charter 77, Whiteface, top recommendation.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. All right. What's next?
I'm going to take a hard turn away from everything that we've been talking about.
All right.
This one, there's not even then and even now, there's not much on this label that I really liked, but standing out hard, Integrity.
Oh, see, I have
the devil.
The big sized one of that.
Yeah, they did later do it as a 12-inch, but I think
the original, right? The original was a 10-inch, right?
10 inches the original,
yeah.
And I had this one. I got to see them around this time period, and we're like 95, so maybe a little bit before this. 94 or 95, I caught them. And I mean, everything I love here, right? Like this Pushead artwork is like both outrageous and possibly like inscrutable, as always, right? Like it's like kind of I don't know. What do we think? Maybe like a big devil chicken? I'm not really. I don't know what's going on with the goat. But I love it though, and great color scheme, and then like a great photo of them playing. On the back is awesome. So just starting off with vocal test. Like
I'm gonna go one of my picks to tie in just because Cleveland.
Oh, amazing! Yep.
Well, this is the thing. Like when I was like fishing around for like comments about the 10-inch format, this one like pretty much came up like all the time. Like, okay, if you've got to buy a 10-inch record and you're into hardcore punk, then like, this is like
625 did that one, right?
And everyone's like, this is one 10-inch that you like, definitely need. Is this one? So, Tony Erber, Gordon Soley, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I saw you talking recently about Face Value.
I'll say I think Face Value is like much better than this.
Yeah, I like them both.
I don't really like this very much. Sorry, I'm not a huge fan. It just sounds like Youth of Today, like, but not as good. Right? But I guess the whole thing is like the Gordon Soley like thing. It's like it's wrestling, right? Wrestling commentator.
I have, it's weird. I don't actually own that 10-inch, but I have the 7-inch Chair Shot Politics. I think is the first 7-inch, and I own that one, and I really like it. But for whatever reason, I didn't keep the 10-inch, but the 7-inch I really like, the first one. So
I was a bit harsh. It's not a bad record, but I was surprised that so many people said, if you're gonna have one hardcore punk 10-inch, then that should be the one. Like,
I probably should have checked out those comments. I didn't look at when you were asking people about their.
Yeah, I guess it was like a kind of precursor just to get like a test the waters, a little bit. It's like,
people are all hyped about it, about stuff, and then I'm just like, here's a barbecue chicken 10-inch.
yeah. All right, this is my real next choice.
Okay.
Probably the most gruesome artwork of all, but I love this era of the band. It's one of their alternative tentacles, Brazilian. Ratos, Basement Rats.
Yeah.
Another band I've been diving really deep into recently. It's so good. All eras. I love all eras of this band. So powerful. Crossover. Jello Biafra's on this one, right? Biotech is Godzilla. He's on this record. He's on this, right?
Oh yeah, doing the cover. Like he does on it with them. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, look at that artwork. It's like
that artwork is.
But anyway, this is like, I think this is the only way. I think it might be on CD too, but I think it's like 10-inch or.
I think I've only ever seen it as that 10-inch.
But, I mean, I love amazing. This era, the like alternative tentacles era of the band. It's like, I mean, they even had like little kind of not rap, but they had like scratching and stuff. But it totally works. Like it just sounds really powerful. It's crazy.
I mean, they're like legendary. So
amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, is it my turn?
It is, man.
All right.
I've got a couple more.
I had to choose between two here, but I'll show the first one. I mean, this again, artwork, and we've talked about them before, but
yes,
I'm back into you.
Bought that when it came out.
Yeah, pretty amazing. But this one you don't see as often. This is just Frankie Stubbs.
Oh yeah,
10-inch acoustic, doing I believe, doing some Leatherface songs, Dead Industrial Atmosphere, Ship Song. So there's like, but this one I feel like it didn't get a lot of distribution like right when it came out, so you don't see it too often. And I actually really, really like it. I mean, I love Leatherface. And it's cool to hear him just, kind of be for this one. So
that kind of goes along with the Pope LP and the Jesse LP records that didn't really, that kind of hard to find now, or maybe didn't get.
Yeah. And it's weird when you did your thing. When you did your thing talking about those records, I kind of had a panic attack where I was like,
"Do I have them?
Do I have the Pope and Jesse LP? Do I have those 7-inches?" And it was like, both things. It was like I had the Jesse LP and the singles, but I did not have the Pope LP. Right. So like I'm still on the lookout for the Pope record. I had it as a compact disc because it had something else on it. It was like it had the Pope LP and something else.
Okay.
So I think at the time, whenever it was that I bought it, I took the CD and didn't buy the vinyl. And now I'm like, why don't I have that record?
It'll shop. Okay, I'm going to do a little twofer to cheat a little bit.
Oh, man, I see this and I love it. Yeah.
So we've got like this one first. Jesus Loves the Stooges with, as a special bonus, you've got the 3D glasses.
Love it.
Yeah. It's just like, I guess, like, there you go. That's like,
that's
put these on to, and this also, but like, what we got, like 4 songs.
Yeah.
It's Bomp.
Yeah, both of them, right? Bomp did both of them.
Yeah. So there's this, and then there's like the a special collector's edition. It says it's on color vinyl as well. It's like featuring the original. It's like, and the best tracks from so they cut off like the little filler, like interludes and stuff, so you get like I love this record, and it's like even better, it trims off a little bit of the fat that you don't need, so I just got like that's the track list.
That record is outrageous.
I love
the artwork on that one. It's totally the last one I saw was green. The vinyl was green. I think there's multicolored. I think there's a bunch of different ones. But
mine's black, but there's
just black. Okay, I'll look out for a green one for you. Send it your way.
Yes. Okay, I've got one more. I think you've probably got one or two.
I have 2 more.
Okay,
but
right.
I don't know how that happened, but
I think because I showed my Gordon Soley cheekily.
Oh, the Gordon Soley. That's it. Yeah, we can go anyway. You want me to go?
Go ahead. Yeah.
2 of my favorite bands together. An inch. That is
split
Hard Ons.
Yeah.
Hard Ons and the Stupids. We got a split 10-inch in there. I forgot that I had one in there. And so much happening here. The
There is
hard-ons
a lot to take in.
together. So many cartoons.
But it's cool though. It looks cool. It's done well. It's like
yeah, for sure. So I think they toured together and then just recorded this 10-inch, like released it either right before or right after the tour. There's also a great there's a comic here that comes with talking about the tour and their stuff together. So yeah, again, bands that are overlooked or people don't seem to love too much, but I really, really idolize the Hard-Ons. I love them. So
what's the track listing on that? What songs?
It's actually like it's really I think it's like so it's got All Set to Go, which is Hard-On song.
That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, which is great. But I want to say I got to remember. I want to say that maybe it's not like a proper split, like it's more of a collaboration maybe on this record. I can't remember. Let's see. Put on the spot, but this is on some great I guess
colored vinyl.
Yeah, like I don't
yeah, name that vinyl. Oh, he's frozen. Tony's frozen with a
maybe something like that.
Oh, there
so
yeah.
But I obsessively collect every Hard-Ons record that I can.
Right.
You know, I was lucky to see him in the US and in Japan and in Australia. I just love them. Yeah, they're just like, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. So, sometimes where it's like, I think the Hard-Ons have a good following, obviously in Australia.
Yeah.
The UK, they seem to do amazing in the UK. And I think people really love them in Japan too.
Yeah.
America, I feel like maybe America doesn't, have like the love, what I mean? Maybe they're a little, so I sometimes feel like I'm rooting for the underdog. I'm always pulling out the Hard-Ons and trying to push for them as hard as possible. And, the US maybe doesn't seem to get them as much as other parts of the world, but I love them so much. So
good band. Okay. I want to finish up with a Japanese band from this neck of the woods. And I think I really want to recommend this record. And this is the only format you can get it in. It's a Kyoto band called You. The record's called Reset Zero. It's 10-inch, obviously. And it's on Tag Rag Records, which was tied in. They released Corrupted, Rise from the Dead, and they had a recording studio. And this record was recorded at Omega Sound, which is where that amazing Rise from the Dead record. It sounds incredible, but it's like post-punk, really like locked in, rhythmic, like post-punk, a little bit like Pill sounding, but very Japanese sounding as well. And the guitar
sounds like it's also up my alley.
This is amazing. They have like a couple of full-length CD only, so this is pretty much the only vinyl you can get from this band. They were from Kyoto, broke up now. Apparently they were amazing live, but the guitar player was the bassist in Corrupted in their sort of like glory years. He played on all their sort of big albums. So
yeah,
Corrupt. And the Razor's Edge Barbecue Chickens connection is that this label also did CH Records. It's the same people but different name, and they put out like Razor's Edge Records and like Swarm and stuff like that. So it's same people.
Yeah, I remember Swarm because Relapse did like that CD. They did the Swedish one and then they did a Japanese one. And Swarm, I think Swarm was on the Japanese one that they did.
Kind of grindcore, a bit emotional grindcore, quite popular band around. They've got the singer of Hellchild singing for them now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Emotional grindcore. That's great. We're really taking a deep dive into the dark waters here with emotional grindcore.
Is that a thing? It is now. I don't know.
Just invented it.
Yeah.
It isn't.
Emo grind. Okay. I'm done, but I've got a bonus one because it's just a funny story. So I'll let you do your last
one. Awesome. Well, my last one's pretty, my favorite band of all time. And also the very first record that I heard with Chad Price singing on vocals. So this is a Shreen. I remember, we had seen All with Scott.
Right.
And we loved him. And then we heard there was a new singer and we were all scared and worried. This was the first thing that me and my friends were able to get a hold of that had him. And the A-side, the song Shreen, we were like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is okay, but like, we were not immediately blown away, but Original Me is the
yeah.
and that song, like I was just like, okay, like you win, like I'm here for this, full blown to the end. And even to this day, I think it's my favorite All song. I think Chad wrote it even before he was in the band.
Wow.
But yep, my favorite All song, and this was the first time that I heard it. I even got thrown out of I went and saw they did the documentary filmage, and then so they did this thing in Fort Collins where they played the movie and then All played, and then the Descendants played afterward. Right. And I was like, cool, this is a movie thing, like we're just gonna watch the bands and everything will be cool, no problem. And then they played Original Me, and I was like, nope, not cool at all. Like climbing up Chad, you know, like kind of. And then like some big burly bouncers grabbed me and drug me out of there. So I got to see the movie in a couple of songs, but I'd flown out there, so I missed the rest of the set. He just kicked me out right in the street. I was just like, what are you going to do? You're a fan. It's got to happen sometime. So what's the bonus?
Oh, here we go. So so this record.
I don't know that.
No, nobody knows it. So My Man Mike is the name of the band.
Is it you?
It's me. It's me. So let me tell this. I'll try and tell it in an amusing way. But like about 10 years ago, I was like dating this Korean girl. She lived in Seoul, and she had some friends, a Korean guy and an American guy, and I think a French guy, and they would jam together, and they got a band together. And so I think like this girl that I was dating had this catchphrase where she would, when they were out drinking, they would say, "Who's texting you?" And she would say, "Oh, it's my man Mike," like that. And so like, I don't know. I didn't know about this obviously, So they formed this band, and like they decide to call it My Man Mike, right? So, I mean, they used to hang around like all the time, like her and these people. She lost it, like completely flipped out, went mental, crazy mad, got really angry, like broke up the friendship with all the like members
because they named the band.
They thought they were like making a fool of her, and but the thing about this is though they denied that it was named after that. Which, come on, just at least admit it. You know, where else did you get the name from? And they made up all these stupid stories, and then finally, I mean, I knew it was obviously named after me, and they even like. I think they came to Japan like on a tour, and they brought this record and they left it at like a live house. And like 4 years later, the guy who works at the live house, I met him. He said, "Oh, I've got something for you." I said, "Oh, really?" And it was this, man. He gave it to me, and it's been sat in this live house for like 4 years. It's covered in like stuff. It's got a little message from the Japanese guy. It's like, "Something for Mike Foster. This vinyl is for you. Sorry for using your name." There we go. "We love you, thank you." And it's like, yeah. And it's called Will You Marry Me? It's just, and it's really stupid, goofy, like, fast, like. And look, this is the funny thing. I just get the free bonus CD as well. and a sticker.
Oh, that's so good.
And the funny thing is,
so you didn't go see them when they played?
No. Actually, I have another story about that. I can't really tell it on air though. But like, there's another sticker, and then the funny thing is, like, when I got the record, that's it was like, that was how it arrived 4 years later. So
well, that's a great this
is the only time I'm going to be able to tell this story, so I thought I'd tell it, and because it's the 10-inch.
That's great though. That's a band named that named themselves basically after you. So
but like really kind of after her, really, but like it was just her little thing that she would say, and then like. But the whole, all those friendships just ended because of that. Crazy.
People get serious.
Yeah. So on that bombshell,
I guess
let's wrap this up. That was a lot of fun. I think we've got enough for a part 2. So I've got a huge stack.
I've got there are definitely more. So, and there were some. This actually made me recontemplate my not hatred, but like like. There's some 10 inches that I would like to have back that I don't have longer. So maybe by the time that we do the second one, I'll have accrued a bunch more, enough to give them their own shelf their own full shelf.
There you go. Yeah. So everybody, this weekend, go through your records, pull out your 10 inches, give them a second chance, because there's some good stuff and some fun stuff going back to the
Absolutely.
fun format. So thanks, Tony. Fun as always.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thanks so much. Until next time, stay healthy and stay clean.